Just a couple of roster moves real quick. We signed running back Rob Kelly and wide receiver Travin Durrell. We waived injured defensive back Chris Campbell, and then running back Buck Allen is on injured reserve right now. So we're still at our 90 count. Any questions?
What do you like about Rob Kelly?
Well, look, the film we've seen on him has been really good. We're familiar with him, obviously, because of where he played. He was injured last year. We had him in for a workout. He was heavy. I think one of the things he battles is his weight. I feel like he's in better shape after the workout yesterday. But there's been a limited exposure, but it's been good. And so hopefully we'll get a chance to see more with him at the better weight.
He did not. Yeah, he didn't look heavy today, though. Right?
No. But the last time he was in for a workout, he was 15 pounds heavier than he is right now. So we felt like he was in much better shape.
What do you think kind of the effort, the practice today?
Thought it was good. It was third down for the first time, so we went through quite a bit of the third down, situational down a distance. Again, I thought they handled it pretty well. We'll look at the film and try to get on the corrections here.
What was enticing about picking up Travin again to bring back to the roster?
Well, look, he's familiar with what we're doing. We were down numbers-wise. He's been training, and we felt when we released him, there was a good chance there'll be a day like today where we were going to be able to bring him back. And so, fortunately, we were able to.
What would you say is special about Keith Kirkwood? Does he have some Marcus Colston in him?
Yeah, I mean, relative to, I would say, number one, he's got good size. He's smart. He's very smart. And I would say he's consistent. You know what you're going to get. And I think Marcus had some of those traits.
Coach, how does this group of returners that's competing compare to the ones you had last couple of years? I know that's a spot you've
it's a good question. We'll see. Without having had really the first-hand exposure to him yet, that's something we're paying attention to. So, I'd wait and reserve judgment until we get a chance to see him really return in some game situations. But, it's to be determined right now.
A punt return spot, you said, is a little more...
Yeah, in both areas. I don't know that we've just penciled in someone that we think is going to be our starting guy there. So, we've got a handful of guys competing, and we'll get a chance to look at him. I know Alvin could go back there and play in either role, but more importantly, who else can help us in that area.
Coach, you often say that you don't really understand what team you have until at least the first quarter of the regular season passes by. Is there a milestone during training camp where you'd like to know what you have before the start of the regular season?
I don't know in training camp that you get that luxury. Certainly you're trying to find it and find out as much as you can about your players. We're young in certain positions. We've got experience in certain positions, and yet it's a different team than a year ago. And so I think that that process obviously begins during training camp. But I think to say that you have a pretty good feel for it, I don't know that that's the case. I mean, certainly there's optimism in a number of areas. We've got a lot of returning guys that have played. Not only in regular season, played a lot of postseason football. Hopefully we can keep improving so that when we get started, we start playing with confidence early on and, understanding the importance of any part of your schedule, no different than the first part of your schedule. So I think that is something that evolves a little bit.
What you guys need to replicate some of the defensive consistency you had towards the end of last season?
Say it again.
What do you guys need to do to replicate some of the
Well, look, I thought we played the run well. I think that's going to be important. I thought we took the ball away well towards the latter part of the season. So hopefully I've seen it. It's something you coach, you work on, in trying to be smart assignment-wise with where you're supposed to be.
Sean, what's your impression of the young backup linebackers that we see on film, Beagle, Caden Ellis?
Beagle's a guy that'll compete, as a kicking game player and also as a backup linebacker. Ellis is someone that we feel like when we drafted him is smart. Of course, Craig we're more familiar with because he's been in those roles. You know, all of those guys, you know, how do they function when they're playing defense, and then how do they function, you know, in the coverage units or in the return game.
Sean, when you bring in a new piece, kind of like Cook, how does the process work between trying new things that maybe his skill set can help you out schematically, and also just you got to still get him to know what you guys are doing? But how do you kind of stretch
I think it's both. I think you're expanding always, and you're looking at things that fit what you're doing. The way it's called, your terminology, your system stays intact. So, you know, he's learning that and has picked that up well. I think it's a little bit of both.